know the way they show it in movies when someone undergoes a complicated abortion and as a consequence, the person is portrayed as being unable to get pregnant again. I've come to tell you that it does not only happen in movies, it happens in real life. You know what is capable of causing this particular complication? It is a procedure called DNC, dilatation and curettage. About three different people entered my DM last week and told me that they had DNC done to terminate their pregnancies. I was like, you had what? DNC? I was surprised when they told me, you know why? People don't do D&C again. It has a whole lot of complications. So when they told me they did D&C, the first question I asked them, where did you do it? Who on earth did D&C for you despite the risks that come with D&C? Let me tell you the meaning of D&C because I'm sure most people don't even know the meaning. They just say D&C, D&C. D&C means dilatation and curettage. Dilatation means they dilate the cervix to get into the uterus, and curettage means they use an instrument to scrape the uterus to get rid of the pregnancy. Let me show you this picture. You can see that instrument that looks like a spoon. That particular instrument is used to scrape the uterus to get rid of the pregnancy. Anywhere you get to, and they tell you that they are going to do D&C for you, my dear, run for your life. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm just here to tell you that D&C should not be done. Now let me tell you the complications and the reason why D&C is no longer done. Number one is excessive bleeding, which is like the commonest complication. It could actually cause excessive bleeding. Number two complication is there's increased risk of infection. These complications, I mean number one and number two, can easily be managed, right? Okay. Now let me tell you the complications that are very, very difficult to manage. Number three is uterine perforation. You see that thing that looks like a spoon? It can perforate the uterus, which is a very, very dangerous complication because once it perforates the uterus, especially if the person is now with a quack, who is going to repair it? Please be careful. A perforated uterus has a whole lot of complications on its own. Now, let me tell you number four. Number four is called Asherman syndrome. I'm sure the name is strange, but like I used to say, you don't really need the name. Just let me tell you what it means. Asherman syndrome is a condition whereby scar tissues form within the uterus after D&C. Now, let me explain what I mean. You see the uterus, it has a lining called the endometrium. That's where your baby attaches to. You see that lining, it sheds every month as you menstruate. You know now, every month you menstruate. This lining sheds off. This is what you see in your menstruation. But there is a layer called the basal layer. You see this basal layer is what regenerates layers you shed off every month. Now imagine what would happen if this basal layer is no longer there. That means there won't be anything to regenerate the layer that was shed off in the previous months. What do you think will happen? The person will stop menstruating, which is called secondary amenorrhea. Let me show you a picture. So this is the picture of the functional layer. You can see this is the picture of the functional layer, the layer that is being shed off every month. This basal layer is what regenerates this functional layer. So that functional layer every month goes off. This basal layer is what regenerates it. Now imagine what would happen if this basal layer is gone. So during D&C, especially when the person does it aggressively, it is possible to scrape off this basal layer. Just imagine it. These people are just going in blind. It's not like they have something they use to look into the uterus to see where the baby is. So they just go in and they just scrape off, scrape off, scrape off. So it is possible to scrape off this basal layer. The moment this basal layer is scraped off, it forms scar tissue. That means there is nothing left to regenerate the layers that goes off every month. What do you think will happen? The person will find it difficult to get pregnant. No pregnancy, no baby, nothing, nothing. So this is what is called Asherman syndrome. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. But anywhere you get to and they tell you they want to do D&C, you know what? Run. Run.